Hey crafters, welcome back to my channel. Today we are making 6 cards, 4 of which include the Soaring Dragonfly from the January 2025 Spellbinders Small Die of the Month Club. I'll demonstrate the 4 primary ways to create their wings and include some inspiration for using up those alcohol inked backgrounds. So whether you're just starting out or a seasoned crafter, these designs will inspire your creativity and show you just how versatile these dies can be. So grab your supplies and let's get to crafting. I want to apologize up front if this video seems a little discombobulated, but when I began this crafting session, I had intended to focus on making 3 cards using the alcohol inked backgrounds that we had made in December. When I got to the 3rd card, I started playing around with that Dragonfly, and I just was curious about what we could do with it and the different directions you could take the wings. And so that's where we ended up with 6 cards. Card number 1 comes together super quickly because I'm using an overlay die, and those are fun to use if you are in the need of a 5-minute card because it doesn't take a lot of personalization to make this card come together. You're simply running it through 2 different dies with the overlay that sits on top. If I wanted to create a little bit more personalization to this effect, I could do some ink blending on that base portion. I opted against that because I'm using shimmer cardstock, and ink notoriously does not do well with shimmer cardstock. It tends to not fully dry and can smear and smudge even if it's been heat set. So I opted against that. Before assembling the card, I decided to add a little bit of splatter to the background by using 2 different colors. The first one is antique bronze, and that really picked up that rose gold. It does fade a little bit to the background once it's dried, but you can still see it, and it does offer that shimmery effect in addition to the shimmer that's already on the card. The second color I used was lumberjack, and I'm just applying it with the same technique using the cap and the wand associated with the pump. Originally, I had planned on going with the Better Press Make a Wish sentiments, but I opted against that and decided to go with Gina K Designs, her Thanks cutting die in that rose gold, and I think it really helps bring that card together. The embellishments are from Picket Fence Studios, and both the peony and the background are propped up on 2mm foam tape. For card number 2, I created a 3-layered background using the postage nesting dies, also from Spellbinders. I cut the flowers and greenery using mostly scraps of C9 cardstock as well as some of that black mirror cardstock. Ultimately, I was not very happy with how the card was coming out. In part, I was trying to highlight the background, but I ended up cutting the card in half, with half having all the things and the other half having none of the things. So I decided to take a pause there and work on the sentiment and then kind of come back and assess what I wanted to do. I used the Pink Fresh Studios stamp to emboss both in gold and in black because I wasn't quite sure which direction I was going to go. I opted for the black and then decided to put that aside and think about how I wanted to fix that card. So I decided to work on card number 3, and I began by using some of that scrap black mirrored cardstock to create the body for 2 different dragonflies. As you can see, there's they're not identical. The one sits on top of the other. I also cut out the body in silver with a hint of lilac on it, and then I cut out using the base die, which is what I'm calling the die that's on the left side of the screen. That die coordinates with the other two dies, or it can be a standalone solid die. And so I had just enough of that silver to cut out two big wings. So I do that, and then I set that aside as well. Still using that solid base die, I cut out another set of wings using a silvery shimmer vellum, which really is a nice touch on the wings because it's so light and it comes with a lot of movement if you don't glue the wings down. For the next set of wings, I use the intricate die using a scrap of holographic paper. Now there's two ways that you can use the intricate die. The first way is as a inlay die, which is what is pictured on the package, or you could use it as an overlay die like we did with card number 1. I decided to use the holographic for the inlay effect, and for the overlay effect, I went with black mirror cardstock and another kind of vellum that has little iridescent polka dots on it, and it's very subtle, and I cannot tell you where I got it. I've had it for 15 years, but those little shimmers just have that iridescence that dragonflies have, and I absolutely love it. To do the inlay effect, the first thing I did was glue the holographic outline to the base, and then I cut several different colors, and I didn't find the need for this one to use press and seal. I just laid them out, and it was pretty straightforward as to what cuts would go into what spots, and it was just a matter of coordinating the colors in a direction that I wanted to go with the different pink shimmer cardstock. The final set of wings were deceptively difficult to put together, and in hindsight, I would have used press and seal to manage those small cuts. I found it very difficult to piece together and find where the pieces fit. It was a more challenging puzzle, I would say, versus the third one, which was that inlay effect. For card number 3, this is the last of the alcohol inked backgrounds, and I cut the panel out using emerald cut nesting dies from Spellbinders, and I propped the panel up on craft foam. I then adhere it to a base card, and to create a shaped card effect, I just need to trim the edges. The sentiment that I use for card number 3 comes from the Soaring Dragonfly package. And so now I'm just putting on some iridescent, I think it's called Halo sequins from Trinity Stamps. I absolutely love this card. There's a lot going on, but yet it still has that clean and simple feel. For card number 4, I used the Colorful Expressions blooms from August 24 Large Die of the Month Club, and I had cut out a couple, but I decided to only use one of the large flowers. And again, this card came together very quickly once I had that dragonfly done. I used a scallop embossing folder also from Spellbinders, and the sentiment is left over from what I had already cut earlier. This one might be my favorite card. If the last few cards had a clean and simple feel, this one is certainly maximalist. I will need a larger envelope just due to its thickness, not to mention that the wings extend past the card, but I'm okay with that. It's worth it to have those lots of layers and all the things. So a card I struggled with and turned around and ended up being quite pleased with it. Now, card number 5 uses the stamp Tiny Prints from Tim Holtz. I want to say it was 2023. This dragonfly gave me a lot of trouble, and I then encountered the problem when I embossed it. I grabbed the wrong kind of embossing powder. It's an older kind. It was before they came in that super fine detail. With the kind of intricate detail that this stamp has, it needed, if I was going to emboss it, a much finer consistency because I just blurred out the back of the image. I went ahead and adhered it. I may go back and change this eventually. This sixth card is actually made up of the remnants of card number 4. I did not use all of the materials, so all I needed to do was run the background under an embossing folder, and then I needed 2 circle nesting dies to create that kind of landing spot for the flower, and the sentiment was already cut. So a true 5-minute card. So what do you think? Which of the wings are your favorite? Did anyone else have difficulty with those striped wings? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear. All right, everyone, I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Stay warm and cozy, and I'll see you next Saturday.